Welcome back into Cougar Nation here on KSL News Radio. Mitch Harper, Matt Baiamonte with you. Big game tomorrow night. Top 25 showdown. Number 23 BYU at number 10 Iowa State. 7 p.m. tip-off. TV broadcast ESPN2. The radio call, of course, you can hear on KSL. Pregame at 6. Cyclones are fully healthy, Matt. They are interesting tidbit on them. I was looking at some of their box scores throughout the season because this is the first meeting between these two teams this year. Iowa State's only lost one game this year with their full roster available. That was to number 1 Auburn in Maui. They had an 18-point lead in that game, and then Auburn stormed back. So when this team's got their full collection of personnel, they don't lose. They've only lost one home game in the last 2 years at Hilton Coliseum. 22-7, number 9 in the net. Huge opportunity for BYU to climb the seed lines, but it's going to be a tough test.
It would help with the seed, and it would also help with the Big 12 tournament, because if you get the 4th seed, you get a double bye. And so from that point, it's important, except I don't give a rip about the Big 12 tournament. I just don't. The only thing I care about in this game, Mitch, is getting out healthy. I don't care about the win. I don't care if you get blown out by 30. I don't care about any of it. I might prefer that, because if you just get blown out and you just run out some reserves and you stay rested and healthy, you've done everything you need to do to get to March Madness. You are a lock to go to the NCAA tournament, and that's all we care about at the end of the day. Winning in Ames, sure, that would be nice, but if they were to win in Ames and then lose in the first round to another Duquesne, you'd be pretty ticked off. Yes. So I just want to stay healthy and get to March Madness. They have done what they need to do. I love the way this team is playing. I'm not going to learn anything from this game. Even if they win, it wouldn't change how I feel about this team. I just want them to stay healthy, Mitch.
Here's Kevin Young on the ultimate key against the number 10 Cyclones.
I think we have to go in there with the mindset that no matter what they do, we're going to be under control offensively. You know, and I told our guys this morning, I have a lot of respect for West Virginia and their defense, you know, and I told our guys, I think Tyson told me that was the most points that any Big 12 team scored on them in a regulation game. And so we just try to build on things that have worked. You know, they're different. You know, their defense is different than West Virginia's, but at the same time, you know, I think I'm big on proof of concepts. Like, we've proven that we can do that against good defensive teams, particularly ones whose MO is to turn you over. So that was a weakness of ours early in the year. I think we're starting to use people's aggression against them. I think that's the ultimate key to the game.
The turnover point is a good one by Kevin Young, because last year in Ames, I know a different staff and different, you know, personnel, BYU had 17 turnovers. They didn't score in the final 424 in Ames. BYU did crush Iowa State and Provo, though. I think BYU matches up really well against Iowa State, because typically Iowa State likes to, they give up threes. They're a defense that takes everything away inside. Well, BYU's fine with that. They'll enjoy putting up, 30-something three-pointers, and if it's like the Arizona State game, they're most likely going to knock down 50% of them, the efficiency that they're shooting at. I like this matchup. I think BYU matches up quite well with the Cyclones.
They do, and I think a game like this is where the depth is really important too. Something that maybe we haven't touched on enough, Mitch, is Foose playing well against West Virginia was great, but I like in games where he's not playing as good, maybe float out of Boscovich, maybe give a little bit more run to Keita. I just like that versatility, and in a road game like this, you can throw a lot of things at the wall until something sticks and you have success.
Yeah, Iowa State head coach TJ Otzelberger, he was asked on Monday about BYU's versatility on offense. High praise from Otzelberger, who's in his 4th year at Iowa State. 2 Sweet 16s under his belt already. One of the best coaches in this league. This was Otzelberger on BYU.
Yeah, I mean, number one, Denham with the basketball at his size, at 6'9" or whatever he is, as a playmaker, facilitator. That's a unique endeavor for sure. The shooting and spacing, probably the only team in the league with 2 guys that are, mid-40s type three-point shooters that get high volume, and then also guys that come off the bench and in the rotation that you always have to honor and respect. So I think that's one thing with them that you have to factor into the equation, is how well they shoot the basketball. And then, look, they're a lot of times, they've got older guys, they've got experienced veteran guys they know how to find ways to win. And you don't win 6 in a row in this league without having that type of experience. So I think all those things are showing up, and Saunders is playing at about as high a level as anybody is in the conference right now in terms of shooting the ball, making big plays for them late, and just competing.
They're not that old, with the exception of Trevin Nell, who is old. I will. Trevin is old. He's been around a long time. They're not that old. At the end of the, Yegor's young. He's very young. So it's just isn't that annoying? Oh, they're old. How about they're experienced? Actually,
yes. They've evolved. They're an experienced team, and they've got a experienced coaching staff that I believe is going to be a trendsetter in college basketball. Honestly, I think a lot of college basketball programs are going to go, Why are we doing what BYU's doing? Now, it's hard to replicate because you got a coach in Young who I think wanted to be here, but still, I think that BYU is a buzzy type of team right now.
If you want to do the missions, have at it.
Great point.
I never got a 30-minute workout in my mission, Mitch, and I think that's the same for a lot of BYU athletes. It's hard to stay in shape. So
no question. If
TJ Otzelberger wants a couple of those, he can see how it works for him.
That man, though, we talk about being in shape. He's working those. He's working out all the time. That man fits nicely in a polo. BYU, Iowa State, 7 p.m. tip, ESPN2, and here on KSL. Pregame begins at 6. We'll have coverage on KSLSports.com. It's going to be a good one. Tune in tomorrow night here on KSL, and we will talk to you on Saturday, getting you ready for BYU and Utah to close out the regular season. Have a good night, everyone.